Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And guys, the next 48 hours are going to be crucial. I'm going to explain in this video exactly why these next 48 hours are going to be huge, as we're seeing something that we have never seen before. Then again, there's also a couple of pieces of crypto news that I have to share with you all. So of course, we're going to be doing that in this little video. So take a look at this just to start it off. There's a couple of cryptos which have dumped like crazy. One of them is Steppen. This coin is dumping like crazy right now because apparently it just got banned over in China. If you don't know, there was this little move in the move to earn space. The two popular twin tokens, Steppen and Green Satoshi token, GST, plunged following the announcement that the app would ban players from mainland China. Obviously, that's never a good thing. If users in mainland China are found, Steppen will stop providing GPS to their accounts on the July 15th, according to the terms and use of IP location services. And well, apparently it was a pretty big craze over there, so people did not like that, which is why the price dumped. Then again, I am not really a connoisseur or a real big fan of move to earn. I think there's a real nice little profit potential with it on the short term, but at the end of the day, I do see Steppen and things akin of more like a Ponzi type of scheme. I kind of feel as if we don't want to make the Luna mistakes yet again, right? So we're only going to stick with things which I think is juicy, which I think are amazing. One of those things, of course, guys, is XRP for me. Again, people have different opinions, you know, and I don't judge. I just do whatever I think is best, and I kind of portray it upon you guys. One thing I should quickly say is that if you're not in our Telegram just quite yet, make sure you go ahead and check it out. I share a lot of cool updates in here, and actually if you read it right there, you could have already gotten a little bit of our hint or tip that we're going to talk about in just a couple of minutes here. But yeah, go ahead and check that out. Check out this article though. Ripple is not okay. XRP price might collapse if this happens. What FUD? What is this about? What is this about? So the article is actually quite general. It talks about what happened to the crypto market. Like, crypto and stock market have a crazy correlation. There was, of course, a pretty interesting war going on, and there still is. The failed ecosystem, or I guess several crypto projects like Yuga Labs and Terra. Apparently, I mean, Yuga Labs with the whole Ethereum crash, I think was actually a good thing for the crypto space, but that's a difference in opinion. Crypto market overbought needed an adjustment and tougher regulations, which again is a good thing for a longer term. Checking through the article though, there's not really too much that they're explaining except for, well, we have a price prediction and we're saying it's not looking good. In fact, the current price is consolidating around a very important price area, delimited between 38 cents and 40 cents. Failure to rebound higher in the next few days should bring XRP prices down to the psychological level of 30 cents. This level is broken, we're going to go to 20 and then 10 cents. Let me make one thing clear, all right? Let me make this very clear to you guys. If you're buying these cryptos just to hold for a couple of days, couple of months or so, this is a completely different game. On my channel, I usually talk about how to hopefully, again, not financial advice, but hopefully make the most amount of money out of the whatever situation that you're in. But we always talk about longer periods of time, because if we're talking about the next couple of days, next couple of hours, there's one tip I'm going to give you in a couple of minutes here that I think will be very important for that. But most of the time, that's not what we're here for, because that's the small gains, right? Unless you find the craziest coin where you can really do well, usually it's a 50-50. You want to look for things which have crazy utility so they can boom over longer periods of time. And when people make articles like this, I think it's too fuddy, because in reality, all he's saying is, well, the crypto market is kind of coming down. And again, we all know it's mostly Bitcoin that is deciding the market, that is taking everything down with it. It's very hard to say that it's actually some real fault in XRP or whatnot. They have a couple of interesting little pieces on Ripple's history right there. Even some pieces that I'm not completely aware of whether or not it's said in the right way. But I digress. Right now, we're seeing something very interesting in the Bitcoin price. And take a look at this, guys. Over on the Bitcoin chart, we have seen a very interesting bottom. I've quoted this a couple of times over on Telegram, which again, I recommend you guys all to join. A link of that is down below. I've recommended this to you guys a couple of times to watch for the $28.6 thousand bottom. And again, we've made a bottom there countless times already, like 1, 2, I guess this is officially the third time if we kind of exclude these little outliers right there. And yeah, we basically said there's a range right now between 30.6 and 28.6 thousand. We've been bouncing up and down, and it's pretty easy to take these trades every single time. Then again, we're also seeing this on a different level, as we're seeing a couple of different wedges, a couple of different triangles. But at the end of the day, the majority of them are looking pretty damn bullish. Again, that's on the short term, like the 4-hour chart, for example. If we go over to the weekly, there's a couple of interesting things which are happening. This falling wedge, for example, it looks, in my opinion, pretty damn bullish mostly, because we're coming back to this area here, which we've been basically bouncing up from every single time in the past. We can see it here in January, we can see it here in July. Right now, we're retesting that same little area. We're also at the bottom of this specific wedge, and you got to consider for yourself, and this is that crazy piece of info. This is the first time in the history of crypto that I can find out, for as long as I kind of scroll back here, that we're going to have 9 weeks in a row of negative price action for Bitcoin. It's the first time that I could ever see. A lot of people said it's never happened before. I try to look back here. I could never find it, at least, but maybe, it happens at some exchanges really, really far back, that I could not see, because I've never seen it before, at least. It's something very, very unique. And most people are also thinking this has got to be some sort of sign that things are going to kind of flip up from here and go crazy. Again, guys, we also showed it on the weekly here over with the EMA ribbon, basically. We talked before about how things were looking really bullish, right? Once we got this breakout, we got a fake out though, right? We got a fake out there as we did not get any confirmation over on the weekly. We came right back down to this demand zone that we're still in right now. We're still struggling to kind of get over from there. We have about 48 hours or so before the weekly closes. And again, it's going to be very unique to see this level be maintained over the weekend here. Once more, it's at the end of Saturday right now, but we still have the entire day of tomorrow. I honestly expect that very, very soon here, we can get, of course, a negative closure over on the week, but it's very, very highly likely that we're going to be retesting the upside rather shortly here. Again, how high are we going to go? Well, it depends. If we take a couple of weeks, for example, I would not be surprised if within 4 weeks or so, we're back at 37,000. Then again, it depends on whether or not we break through. If this week ends up being as negative as it is, it's all going to depend on next week, as we basically made a nice little juicy bottom right there. And as long as we don't close anywhere below 28.1. Again, we have a little bit of leeway there because the next week, we got a little outlier here throughout this week, for example, as well, right? Then again, it didn't have that much severity because we came right back in. It's going to depend on these recent closes. And right now, we're at the bottom of this, but it's not too bad just quite yet. Then again, we can adjust our line a little bit depending on how strict we want to be, right? And the more strict we get, the more you can see we have a little bit of room to actually get a bottom where the structure still looks good. Or if you adjust it upwards, you can see there's some argument to be made that we've actually broken down below it. And this could be the week where we actually get that confirmation, which again would be a very bearish signal. So let's again wait for a couple of hours here, see how this weekly is going to close. And if it's 9 weeks in a row of bearishness, I'm not sure if you guys have ever played roulette, but just that thought alone is giving me the vibes of, man, 9 weeks in a row of negative price action. How long can we go without any bullishness, right? How long can we keep that up? And again, guys, we're seeing a very similar structure in XRP where, of course, things are going down over on these higher time frames, but over on the 4 hour, we're squeezing, right? We are converging right now. And every single time I look at these charts, it looks pretty damn juicy for another line towards the upside. Honestly, it wouldn't be too crazy if we see 40 cents somewhere throughout the next couple of hours here for XRP, unless Bitcoin breaks down even further. But the S&P ended the week quite positively. And next week, things are looking quite nice. We actually, at the inflation numbers, things were looking pretty good. The majority of people in the crypto space expected this week to be good, and it turned out to be rather bad. Maybe it was because of Luna that the market changed a lot. I mean, Luna was a crazy pump and dump scenario today. Again, guys, if you did not have an account over on Bybit yet, let me say it like this. If you make an account right now, you get a $400 bonus if you make it yourself. If you use the link down below, you can get upwards of $4,800, but you're also part of a couple of competitions. There's a huge competition coming up in a couple of weeks where there's $8 million worth of prizes. And I'm telling people, man, if you are a trader, if you're interested in this type of stuff, join it. What's the harm? If you don't want to participate, don't, but at least be part of it. And you sometimes only have a small amount of time to enter this type of stuff. But I've seen before, and people don't realize this. I've seen before people, for example, from the Philippines win with, let's say, $170 to their name and actually win tens of thousands of dollars. The biggest prize is going to be in the millions or so. And it's not as if you need crazy amount of money to win these things, right? It's a percentage game. Usually there's a couple of different competitions, but very often you can win with very little money if you just know what you're doing, or even you can get lucky. And if you're a trader anyway, this is the stuff that you should join. So once more, just do as you please, but know and keep it in the back of your head. Once the competition gets going, I'm going to be sharing a lot of freaking trades over in my Telegram. So I recommend you guys to join over here, as I'm going to be letting you guys in on some very heavy tips. And that's again what I put in here as well. Crucial falling wedge for Bitcoin right now over on the weekly. We've never had 9 weeks of red candles before. This could be a very crazy close. If we get 9 weeks, do you guys imagine that? 9 weeks. It's never happened before in the history of Bitcoin. That's going to be a really interesting, I guess, next couple of days, if we want to call it that way. A lot of volatility, a lot of price action, and most likely a crazy freaking pump. Again, one thing I must really make clear, guys, I'm one of the most bullish people on crypto you ever find. There's not going to be one single day where I'm saying, no, crypto's not going to work. Crypto's going to be bad. I believed in this to the freaking fullest. I get so excited when people kind of talk to me about this stuff, man. XRP I love, Algorand I love, Ethereum I love, even though there's a couple of interesting things about Ethereum. A lot of hypocrisies there, but I love it regardless, guys. I still love it. I still hold it, even though I think there's a lot of shenanigans going on with that crypto. Still love it, though. I hold so many freaking juicy ones. Quant, I love. XTC, I love. HBAR, VeChain, love them all. You know, Cardano, Solana. You can't hate them. You can't hate them. You just can't. The only one I really strongly dislike is Luna. But if you're making money that way, that's good. Then again, don't fall for the hype, right? Don't fall for the temptation of just buying it and holding on to this. This is a pump and dump scheme. As I said before, I'll never buy Luna to just hold on to it anymore. This guy has lost my trust. Every single piece of my trust he's lost. But we can definitely make some money on that, and that's what I'm going to do. A lot of my friends are actually buying this coin. Not sure why. Not sure why. They say that it's going to pump again because of the hype that's surrounding it, but I don't think so, all right? I'm too afraid to go through any of this stuff. I think Binance is going to give them out the 30th or so. A lot of you guys said. Not so sure what that is supposed to be. But I think that's to kind of prevent some pump and dumps, huh? Yeah. On Bybit, it launched instantly. After a little while, they opened deposits. The price dumped like crazy. Obviously, $30 was way too high. People made some really juicy money. A lot of people made like 10% of their old losses back, which was amazing. But yeah, I'll get you on some updates later today or maybe tomorrow. That was for right now, though, guys. Check it out. The next 48 hours is going to be very interesting as we get this Bitcoin close, which is crucial. And also, guys, things are looking very freaking bullish right now. So, yeah, get yourself an account and start looking into it. If you don't want it, don't worry about it. We'll cover the news tomorrow again. And let me know down below if you guys would like to know more about my trades and whatnot, or just more about the freaking, I don't know, the news. Let me know down below.